We're back live, yes. Laying down the law. I am your host, Steve Foster, along with former All-Pro NFL quarterback Jeff Blake, the Lieutenant Governor for the South Texas District of the AAU, Rod Chico Tanner, and a very disgruntled and disheartened Mountaineer fan. But listen, she has provided us an opportunity to step into the next segment wearing the Dallas Cowboy star and the blue and white. And without further ado, we step into a segment that we look toward every football weekend when we have the Dallas Cowboys between the eights with the All-Pro, with the Super Bowl champion, with the All-Decade wide receiver, and the inventor of my favorite touchdown spike. I've been doing it since I was 6 years old. That's right. We welcome in the original 88, Drew Pearson. Drew, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. How are you?
Drew. How you doing?
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning, gentlemen.
We are well. We're going across the pond, Drew Pearson, to get us a W.
Wherever it takes. Yes. Across the pond, across the bridge, across the tracks.
Let me ask you something.
It don't matter. Let's get a win.
Let me ask you something, and I don't want to digress too long. However, would you have kept Brandon Weeden in on Monday night against the Redskins, given the fact that he had driven the Cowboys down the field, very successful, and found a wide-open Jason Witten to tie the game at 17?
Well, when Tony came out of the locker room, he decided that, he felt well enough to play. We were in a situation where I think they just punted and had us backed up inside the 5-yard line, 3-yard line. In that situation, I would have let Weeden handle that. If we had better field position, then, yeah, put Romo in. But, we're backed up into our end zone, and, you got a quarterback that might be limited as far as his mobility, and then you stick him back in that type of situation. You saw what happened. We ran the football, and then we tried play action, and Romo couldn't move, couldn't avoid the pass rush. So maybe once we got out of that situation, then put Romo back in, but Weeden was playing pretty well to that point, so I would have stuck him back in there and then made sure Tony was, really ready to go, and then put him back in there later once we got better field position.
Appreciate that comments. Yes, we are between the eights with the original 88, Drew Pearson, talking about the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This should be a very opportune game for the Dallas Cowboys to right the wrong.
Yeah, it should. They're on a 2-game losing streak right now, and, Jacksonville, 1-8. They're last in the league on offensive scoring. They're 30th and giving up points on the defensive side. So, yeah, we should be able to go in there and beat them. And the thing is, you got to jump on them early. If you let them have any confidence, and, you're seeing Romo maybe a little rusty or not moving like you might expect him to move, then, they get a little more confidence, and now you got a football game on your hands. So this is the NFL. You got to give everybody respect. You got to give everybody credit, and you got to go out there and perform. Now, the question is, this trip to London, did it pose a distraction for this football team? How many things did they have to do? How many things that they had to deal with to adjust to play this game? And everything from getting treatment, everything from your meeting rooms, everything from staying in hotels for a whole week, living in and out of suitcases, traveling when you go, and traffic and buses, practice facilities not up to par. All these kind of things present a distraction, and hopefully the Cowboys will be able to overcome that. Now, Jacksonville's kind of used to that. Yeah. They've been over there quite a few times. It's almost like their home field, and they draw better there, of course, than they do in Jacksonville, because people know about them in Jacksonville. When they go to London, they're just an NFL team, so they get some support there. But, again, hopefully the distractions of all this being in London, and, we hear how great it is, how Goodell has already commanded 5 more games over there next year, and the possibility of a team there, and how the league wants to go international, which to me, I don't understand. You don't sell more jerseys internationally than you do nationally. So I understand they want to build the brand. Everybody wants to be global nowadays, but to take our game over there and force our players to play in adverse situations that other than what they're used to. The NFL, I think, needs to slow their roll in that regard.
Well, we're talking with Drew Pearson. We're between the eights, and it's Jacksonville, the home team, designated home team, versus the Dallas Cowboys. Rolando McClain on defense and Tyrone Crawford going to have, I guess, Terrell McClain and Anthony Hitchens filling the void. Interestingly enough, Drew Pearson, in the last 20 games against rookies, the Cowboys are 9-11 against rookie quarterbacks. So
9-11, huh? Wow, that's not encouraging.
That is not encouraging.
Not encouraging at all.
And it was 2 against RG3 when he was a rookie quarterback. Nick Foles. I mean, the Texas quarterbacks has gotten them pretty good. And I said, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I had Jeff Blake and he's seasoned NFL quarterback, and you got a guy that's just coming in the league, if you're Jeff Blake, and I won't speak for him, but it should go something like, hey, young buck, it's good that you are part of the NFL quarterback club. It's great to see you this Sunday afternoon. After you play your final game and I head into the playoffs with my team, maybe we can hook up and go get something to eat or play a little golf. But you should absolutely have the confidence to beat somebody that's never done something before.
Oh, yeah. This is a great opportunity. And, Rob Marinelli, the defensive coordinator, needs to come up with a game plan to make sure that, we put the game in the hands of this rookie quarterback and let him try to beat us. To do that, you take away the running game, you play some good pass defense, you blitz him, you give him different looks and that type of thing. You try to confuse him, make him think on every play as opposed to just reacting based on his preparation. So, yeah, this is an opportunity that we can't let slip away. We can't have quarterbacks like this beat us, because we still got some tough games on our schedule down the road where some good quarterbacks that we still have to face. So, yeah, we got to take advantage of this opportunity against the Jaguars. And another thing, guys, we got 6 wins now. We win this game, we're up to 7. And we got, 6 games left after this. There's a good chance we can win 3 more of those 6 games. So I think 10 wins will get the Cowboys in the playoffs. So they have to think in that regard. This is the game that they need to win. We shouldn't have lost that Redskin game. And that's one game they're going to look back on and say, darn, if we don't make the playoffs, darn, if we beat the Redskins, we would have been in there. That type of situation. So, they played decent against the Cardinals, but they didn't find a way to win that football game. Today, they got to find a way to win this football game, and they can't let a rookie quarterback beat them, especially if they want to be a playoff team. You can't let a rookie quarterback come in and beat you.
That's right. Drew, this is Jeff Blake. Just thinking about today's game and especially a situation with Romo, if he does start the game, I'm not sure if he's going to start today, but if he does, I can definitely see them not allowing him to try to put the game on his back. Understand what I'm saying? And keeping them out of trouble and make sure they're protecting first. I look at a lot of these colleges and high schools, protections these days. They don't protect the quarterback first. NFL, we protect first. So hopefully they'll protect him first, for his pass protections, run the football, pound the football. You got those, 2 running backs you got back there? 3 now, three running backs, pound that football, just over and over and over again. Play action, keep them, slow that rush down, keep them off of them. So I hope they do a good job with that today.
Yeah, you got to take the game out of Romo's hands. The last thing you want is if he does play for further injury, for him to be injured further and not protecting him the way you need to. But, yeah, we need to run the ball. They gave up over 130 yards a game rushing the football with their rush defense. So we should be able to do that. And we should, when we do pass, because we will have success running the football, then the play action passes should be able to come into play. And, we all know Tony does that very well. The key is, can these receivers get open? Dez has been pretty much shut down the last 2 games. You know, they're playing him very.
They don't move him around much, though. They don't put him in the slot.
No, they don't do much with him. And I don't know if that's him or if that's the system. You know, I know when you think back where Linehan came from, I remember seeing Calvin Johnson, the right, the left, the slot, moving around, things like that. Maybe Calvin Johnson had the aptitude to be able to do that.
Right.
You know, the question is, does Dez have that aptitude to adjust? You know, because Jeff, when you're lined up outside, now they bring you into the slot. You know, your route tree, your routes and your adjustments and everything, your assignments differ. They change.
Yeah, your hots.
And for every position that you go to, you know, routes you run on the right side, the adjustments might be different on the left side. So I don't see them doing that with Dez, and it is somewhat a concern. But where does why don't they do that? Is it the play calling, or does Dez have the aptitude to adjust, or he feels more comfortable just lining up and being in the same position, running the same routes over and over? But here's the deal. You know, we're at this point in the season where teams know you pretty well. They got a lot of film that they can study in preparation for you. So they see the routes you like to run. They see where you line up all the time. And so they're playing Dez a little different now. And you know, Blake, you know, once your receivers start locking on your receivers, the receivers got to make the adjustment. You got to elevate your game. You know, you don't think Jerry Rice was double covered? You know,
they moved, but they did.
Yeah, but they found ways to get that ball to Rice, and a lot of it was because Rice made the adjustment. Exactly. He says, I'm not going to not be the all-time leading receiver simply because they're double covering me.
Right.
You know, so Dez has got to step up a little more with his route running, and they got to give him a little more chance with the play calling, and like you say, Blake, by moving them around a little more.
Absolutely. So, as we always ask you, your score prediction for this weekend's game, Jacksonville Jaguars, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, before I get into that, they got a receiver, number 88, named Allen Hurns. He's going to be my guy I'm going to be watching today and a little concerned about because our secondary and, you know, our limited ability to cover. You know, this guy is averaging 16 yards a catch. He's a rookie. He's 6'3". He's got 5 touchdowns. You know, we got to make sure we contain this guy and not give Bortles time to throw that football, to find a guy like that who seems to be a young, up-and-coming big playmaker in the National Football League. So with that in mind, I think the Cowboys will still win this football game. And I'm going to stay with my score, 27-17. That seems like it's been a good score for us this season, whether it be on the downside or the upside. You know, whether we get to 27 or we only get 17 ourselves. But I think we can win this football game, and we should be able to win it 27-17.
You know, I went back to our Dallas theme music too. I may have got a little too cute last Monday or last Sunday, getting into Monday night, trying to give us that Monday night football feel. I'm not worried about what the feel is, Drew Pearson. All we're looking for is W's and not L's, and I believe the Dallas Cowboys get back on track over in London's Wembley Stadium. We'll take our show up today till noon, right before kickoff. Drew, what's on your agenda for today?
No, I got a pretty easy day. You know, I got a grandson's birthday, going to deal with that after the Cowboy game. The Cowboys play early, so I'll have some time this afternoon. And then chill out for a little while, watch some other NFL football, and then get ready to do my TV show on NBC5 later tonight. The Bears and the Packers play tonight, so we should be able to get on the air at a reasonable time. Last week's that Pittsburgh game, we didn't get on the air until 11:45 because they threw so many passes, so many injuries, so many timeouts. That extended the game to go on pretty long, which got us out to almost the next day before we got on the air. But anyway, that's what I'll be doing. So it's a pretty easy weekend for me. It's usually that way when the Cowboys are out of town.
What, Drew Pearson, is there any way for first of all, what's your grandson's name? Give him a quick shout out.
Oh yeah, he's we call him Deuce. His name is Kavika Pittman. You might recognize that name. His dad played for the Cowboys.
Kavika,
His dad is
yes.
Kavika Pittman, defensive
yes.
end. But we call him Deuce, and he's 6'1". He's 15 today, and he wears a size 12.5 shoe. He just finished his freshman season at Lone Star High School in Frisco, where he scored 8 receiving touchdowns this year.
Wow.
So he's got some potential, and he's already got an agent. And that's me.
I was going to say, you don't sound too proud.
Hey, man, I'm living it through it. You know, my son, I got a great son. He's 20 years old. He's a junior at Loyola Marymount. And he's 6'1". He's buff. He works out all the time. And everywhere we go, people ask him that question, do you play football? And he hates it, you know, and he never played. And that kind of bothered me a little, but that's his life. If you guys know, if you don't want to play football, if you don't like football, you don't play it.
Yep.
But you
That's
go
right.
out there halfway, you'll get killed.
Yeah.
So my grandsons, I got 4 grandsons, and they all love to play.
There you go.
So I live it through them.
There you go. I was just going to say, just go through them grand boys.
Amen. It keeps me going.
Excellent, Drew. Well, listen, 27-17 Cowboys win. Always a pleasure to have you between the eights. You are the original 88 of the Dallas Cowboys. And, again, we're going to make sure some way, somehow, you also are a future NFL Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl champion, and a stand-up gentleman as well. So we appreciate your time today. Is there any way we can follow you through social media?
Yeah, 88 Drew Pearson. At 88 Drew Pearson.
You're gonna get some followers here on the quick, and love to make sure that we include you when we do our Twitter shouts and blasts to let people know that you will be between the eights. So thank you very much for that information.
You got it, guys. Have a great Sunday, and Jeff, you can throw to me anytime. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, Drew.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break. We're going to have an open segment next. Give us a call at 210-656 ESPN 210-656-3776 and stay with us all the way up to noon and kick off for the Cowboys right here on Laying Down the Law.